Hope you guys enjoyed your lunch. I hear the dessert was so good, some folks wanted to steal their neighbors. Good afternoon and welcome again to our 25th Annual National VOAD Conference. It's an honor to stand before you and provide an update on the state of the VOAD movement, and I'm proud to say that the state of the VOAD is thriving. Our membership and brand recognition continues to grow. Our network and our diversity is expanding. Our state and territory VOADs are highly engaged and working hard to serve individuals and communities impacted by disasters. And the contributions that each of you and your organizations provide every day is truly inspiring. Give yourselves a round of applause. Many of you are familiar with our 4 C's within the VOAD movement: cooperation, communication, collaboration, and coordination. And they are the very foundation of how we engage with one another. However, I often hear of other C's that help guide our work as well. So today I'd like to briefly share some stories from the field on how a number of our state VOADs have exemplified the 4 C's under the most challenging of circumstances, while highlighting a few of the other C's that influence our everyday lives in the VOAD community. As the 1 in 1,000-year floods, devastating wildfires, and hurricanes continue, our national members and state and territory VOADs regularly convene to plan, identify needs and resources, share information with one another, and coordinate their delivery of services. In June of last year, one of those 1 in 1,000-year floods struck West Virginia, and they truly demonstrated the power of convening. The leadership of West Virginia leapt into action, engaging more than 100 agencies at a member recovery center. They utilized it as a forum for member coordination and a host site for daily lead calls to help ensure updated information was provided and a safe place for members to do their work. As the difficult task of recovery began, state and national members teamed up to provide 21 trainings across 12 different counties, focused on disaster case management, construction and estimation, and long-term recovery, educating more than 430 members of their community. To address some of the economic impacts of the disaster, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul and West Virginia VOAD convened an economic recovery summit, engaging elected officials, private sector, numerous other agencies across the state, and community members to focus on ways to rebuild the economy following the harsh impacts of the flooding. Then in August, it started raining again in Louisiana. Mind you, the work was still going on from flooding in March. And it rained, and it rained, and it rained some more. And when it stopped, Louisiana had received more than 20 inches of rain across numerous parishes, all from a storm that had no name. I can think of no better example of commitment than of Louisiana VOAD and its members in 2016. In the wake of the flooding, many member agencies were affected. Dozens of houses of worship flooded, and the Baton Rouge Food Bank and Salvation Army facilities were a complete loss. But through the exhaustion and through the adversity, all remained committed to serving their community. Committed to ensuring a hot meal, a safe place to stay, and to ensure a helping hand was available to those in need. But Mother Nature wasn't quite done yet. And in October, a storm named Matthew set its sights on the Atlantic coastline. Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina VOAD all prepared for the unknown. Following the storm, North Carolina and South Carolina began holding daily calls to promote communication and avoid duplication of efforts. And North Carolina VOAD disseminated a cumulative list of resources to its members that became commonly known as the Rainbow List, all while planning diligently with FEMA and other government partners for long-term recovery with an emphasis on unity of effort. Sadly, we ended 2016 with a devastating wildfire in the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. And for those of you who responded and are still helping with recovery, you demonstrated compassion in a way that no one will ever forget. And this is where compassion shines across the entire voluntary sector. Each and every one of you provides your help and your hugs with the utmost compassion. Storm after storm, disaster after disaster, community upon community across this nation. And it is why I am so proud to serve alongside you as part of the VOAD movement. On the worst day of their lives, you were there to help with open arms and compassion like no other. Even as we sit here, more than 25 people slept in a shelter in Pocahontas, Arkansas last night. While Mississippi recovers from their most recent tornado and flooding is receding across Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, the work continues. Our efforts across the movement have not gone unnoticed. And as I recently traveled to Europe last fall, I was reminded we are a global leader in collaboration. Our influence, approach, and outcomes reach well beyond the U.S. borders. And I'm proud to welcome the Japanese delegation representing VOAD to the VOAD family as the first international VOAD. As we reflect on all that we have accomplished this past year and all of those we have helped, I'd like to take a moment to extend my sincerest thanks to so many of you that carry on this work every day and champion the VOAD movement. So thank you. Would our board of directors and ex officio members please stand? This is the team, folks. Thank you for your continued leadership, your wise counsel, countless hours of hard work, and your unwavering commitment to National VOAD. We thank you for your continued service year after year on the board in support of National VOAD, and we welcome our new board members to the team. Each and every one of you has made countless contributions on behalf of National VOAD, and I think I speak on the behalf of the membership when I say we're forever grateful. It has been an incredible privilege and honor to serve alongside you, and I thank you for your service on the board of directors. Would the Texas VOAD and host committee members please stand? Texas VOAD members, host committee. Thank you all for being such an amazing host this week, and for all of your hard work to make this event possible so that everyone looks forward to each year. It's thanks to state VOADs and volunteers like you that the movement continues to thrive, and we're so appreciative of your leadership as well. And would our National VOAD partners and conference sponsors and exhibitors in the room please stand? Do we have any sponsors and exhibitors in the room? National VOAD partners? Without you, we would also not be where we are today. You are the folks that continue to lend your support and expertise to National VOAD year after year. And it was great appreciation I express my thanks for all you have done and continue to do for National VOAD in our annual conference. Finally, please express my thanks to your families who, without their support, none of this would be possible. We have some pretty tolerant family members at home that support us day in, day out. And as I wrap up, many of you may recall the analogy of the house that I mentioned in last year's address, where we laid a foundation of governance and focused on our strategic pillars of leadership, membership, financial sustainability, and programs. I am so proud of all that we have accomplished, And it is my pleasure to introduce to you our new President and CEO, Mr. Greg Forrester. Greg comes to us from the United Methodist Committee on Relief, UMCOR, and previously served on the National VOAD Board of Directors. We're delighted to have him on board, and if you've not had the chance to meet him, I know he's looking forward to connecting with each of you this week. And would the rest of the National VOAD staff please stand to be recognized? Please join me in thanking our current staff members. Greg, Catherine, Justin, and soon Amelia will be joining the team. There is simply not enough thanks in the world for all that you do to support National VOAD, our members, and our partners. And thank you for all of your contributions. On a personal note, I just want to thank you for allowing me the privilege of serving as your board chair for the last 2 years. It has been a remarkable honor and an experience I will never forget. Thank you for joining us this week as we bridge the gulf through the 4 Cs. Remember to embrace the opportunities to convene and connect. Remain committed to what you do, and do it with compassion every day. And please don't forget to celebrate your success. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and most importantly, have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Thank you, Board of Directors. And I am actually humbled and honored to be selected as the leader of this organization. And as I look, it's to provide resources to all of you. You do phenomenal work all over the place on behalf of your agencies, on behalf of your communities, and hopefully a little bit in connection with what we do with National VOAD. We know that's the tie-in. I get the privilege now of just reminding you of some of the fun things that you get to do for the rest of the time that you're here. So let's do a few reminders for you. First off, silent auction. For those of you that don't know, one of the ways that we support our state representatives to the Board of Directors is through the silent auction. So if you haven't already taken a look at the table out there, you will see that my name is on a lot of those things. Please don't make me take all that stuff home. So bid high, bid often, and if you see my name there, please add yours below it, because the goal is for you to take those items with you and not have them go with me. But there's some fantastic items there. Please read the descriptions. A lot of thought went into it from different state VOADs that brought items here for the auction, and we really hope that you go ahead and bid high and bid often. The next thing is remind you to use the app. How many of you have downloaded the app, the Topi app, for this event? Great. It's a new app for this year. I hope you're finding this very useful. The tie-ins that we have found, the connection points within it are excellent for the work that we do and making sure that we're drawing down information, but also, more importantly, is that you're putting out information to others. The goal is always to grow what we do with National VOAD and the conference in general, and the more tweets that you put out there, the more Facebook posts, all of those things really help to let people know what it is that you are doing here at the conference, but also in the field. We at the office really need those things coming into us. We retweet a lot. Justin's in charge of taking care of that. That's a little bit beyond sometimes my technology knowledge, Mickey. I'll admit to that too. But the Twitter and Facebook posts will help us along. And the conference app also, make sure that you use it to rate from here on in as you do the different workshops and the committee meetings and the meals. Make sure you're using that on the app to go ahead and rate those systems. We actually look at the ratings and the evaluations that you do to go ahead and plan for the next event. So please use the conference app. Visit our exhibitors. How many of you had time to go in and walk through all the incredible displays that are out there? There are also 2 that are outside. If you haven't yet gone out to see the Team Rubicon trailer or the HP Connection Point trailer, please do so. We made special arrangements for them to be here this year, and it's a resource for you. So go ahead and take a look, meet the folks that are there at the trailer, and figure out how it is that you might be able to access that resource in your next disaster. For the HP trailer, it hasn't gone to a disaster event just yet. It has gone to conferences, and so they're anticipating and waiting for that call out for the next time that you need some computers on site. So make sure you visit all of our exhibitors. This morning there was a service project downstairs, and somebody said it was in the basement. It was in the exhibit hall at the lower level of the hotel, and they put together over 250 health kits that will be used both in this nation and sometimes that they are shipped outside the country as well for different events. This afternoon, as part of the Home Fires campaign with the Red Cross, there will be a group of volunteers who have signed up in advance that will be going through a neighborhood and installing smoke detectors throughout the community. If you haven't yet connected with the Red Cross and their Home Fires campaign, I encourage you to do so. I know that April is looking for additional partners in that as we go ahead and prevent fire deaths throughout this nation. And it's an incredible process that has been set up by Red Cross to make that possible. And the next one is reflection room. In our industry, at least from what I found in our industry and in our ministry, as I refer to both things within disaster, we are very bad about self-care. We have a great, though, emotional and spiritual care committee who have set up rooms for us to go ahead and take some time apart. So if you're feeling yourself a little bit stressed, you're encouraged to go ahead and visit. There are 2 rooms that have been set aside, one for a little quieter time of reflection and meditation, and another with active prayer support. They've also asked that I let you know that at different days during the week, we will have different folks from different faith traditions. This afternoon from 5:45 to 6:15, we'll have the Orthodox Christian faith that'll be there presenting. Tomorrow from 7:15 to 7:45, and I know that you all are early risers, especially those of us from the East Coast, that's really 8:15. So, but the Islamic tradition will be presenting then, and then in the evening from 5:45 to 6:15, the United Methodist will be there. And then on Thursday from 7:15 to 7:45, the Suchi Buddhist faith tradition will be in the room. So please take part in that. Go and learn some more about who your neighbors are and what different faith traditions represent in community, because you will be experiencing them in all the disaster places that you go. And finally, to close this out for this afternoon and then send you off to committee meetings, we will close with our time together with a message from Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Enjoy your afternoon, and more than that, have a great conference. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Governor Greg Abbott. It is an honor to welcome you to the great state of Texas and to thank you for your extraordinary efforts to keep your fellow Americans safe. True strength of character is revealed when it's tested by adversity. This nation and this state have been tested by disasters both large and small. We've seen again and again the extraordinary resilience and strength of character of our American family. Whether it's fire or flood, Americans come together. Neighbors helping neighbors and strangers helping friends. I'd like to thank all of the emergency response professionals and the volunteer organizations present for delivering hope in times of great need and for helping to rebuild stronger, even more resilient communities. You know, we've seen the incredible impact of your members right here in Texas, as recently as the tornadoes that touched down in Van Zandt County, along with 6 federally declared disasters in just the last 2 years. Through our cooperation, through communication, coordination, and collaboration, you are bridging the gulf between disaster and recovery. The First Lady of Texas joins me in thanking you for your outstanding service and for standing ever ready. May God bless you all, and may God forever bless the United States of America.